Guys, so for this comic book review, I'm going to go over Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the Avengers #7. And that's the one, if you remember from comic book picks last week. It's the one with Ghost Rider and the Giant Mammoth. So this is the Ghost Rider from Avengers, I think 10,000 BC. I remember the BC, I forget exactly what year. I think it was 10,000. As far as I know, they haven't said much about these guys. They kind of just like, at the beginning of this series, I think they start off with them, kind of explain who they are and all that, but they don't have like a full-blown comic of just them doing their thing. And at first I would say, okay, you got Ghost Rider up there on this flaming fire demon mammoth instead of a motorcycle or a Dodge Challenger. But I was like, he's on the cover, but is he just gonna be mentioned, or what's the deal? So, like sometimes comics, they'll give you a cover and you're thinking that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna see something like that related in the story, and you have to. Sometimes you do get something related to it, other times you don't. So I didn't know what to make of this one. But the reason I decided to go with this one for a comic book review was because I actually really enjoyed this one. It was pretty cool. So, just to tell you, it's just a story about him. The whole comic is about this Ghost Rider. So, it starts off with Earth 1 million BC. So, it's a million BC. And I was born into a small pack of cave folk struggling to survive on the edge of the Big White. So, the edge of the Big White, I'm assuming this is during the Ice Age. The Big White. And it would be a long time before I'd have a name. So the narrator is obviously someone from this tribe, tribe of cave people during the, what did I call it, the Ice Age? I want to say it's the Ice Age. I don't know much about the prehistoric times and all that stuff. But I'm assuming it's the Ice Age, seeing as how he's calling the Big White. We communicated with grunts and fists. I don't know who my father was. Don't think my mother did either. I learned everything she had to teach me by the time I could walk. So, obviously this it's a kid. Here, I'll show you this. It's this kid talking here. So he's talking about his life. And he's part of some tribe, some cave tribe. And let me see, he never understood their fear. So, I was different, and different was frightening to my people. Different would get you cast out, left in the snow to starve. So, obviously he knows how to communicate other than grunts and fists. I'm assuming these are like the cavemen's and cartoons and movies that he just, I don't know, grunt and shake fists. So he knows how to communicate, obviously, and he's smart for his age or for his people. And apparently that's creepy to them, so he just stays quiet about it. Otherwise, that's him getting kicked down to the wilderness, to the snow. He's like, I never understood their fear until the stranger came. So there's a stranger that kind of shows up out of nowhere, and he comes from out there, from the snow, the wilderness. So that's kind of weird. Excuse me. It's kind of weird to them. And, this guy is saying no one's ever been out there. No one's been, daring enough to go venture off, see what's out there in the snow, beyond the cave. And this guy kind of shows up one day. So it's like, no one from the pack had ever dared to even enter the Big White. He traveled alone, which was certain death out here. Only saber cats and walking mountains traveled alone. I'm not sure what he means by walking mountains, but whatever. And he didn't look like either. But he wielded weapons of a sort we'd never seen before. And in the time where am I? And in the time it'd take a hungry wolf to devour a baby. So he carved his way into. So pretty much, they do. What is they call it on Black Panther Challenge Day? I guess whoever the leader is gets challenged, whatever. This guy came in, did work, and even the guys that were beat up decided, okay, this is our new leader. This guy is, the one that's going to lead us. He'll whoop some of us, and he's pretty strong. He comes out of nowhere, and obviously this guy is a big deal to them now. So, I know. Let's see, where is it? Now he's talking to the boy. So a stranger's talking to the boy here, and it seems that this stranger knows how to communicate in English or whatever. You know, we're reading it in English. I don't know what language they're really speaking, but he knows how to communicate with the boy. He's not like the other cavemen. He's not just grunts and fists. He's obviously smarter than, you know, your average cave person. So you've never met anyone else like you, have you? And he's talking. And this is the stranger talking to the boy. It's okay. You can speak freely. I won't let them hurt you if they hear. And the boy replies, I didn't know. There was others who could make sounds. This is all by sounds he's talking about, you know, speaking, not just grunts. There are a few scattered among the packs of ape men all across the land, the stranger replies. So, obviously, there's more than just them two. So, there's a couple of others out there that are a lot smarter than the cave people, and obviously have the ability to communicate. So, he's like, how is this? How do I know these things? So the boy's just speaking about, you know, how do I know how to talk, why am I smart, in other words? And dude starts talking about, I come from a pack that feared everything outside their cave. They'd scream and cry every night when the big red ball went away. So the big red ball, we're talking about the sun, so that's why I'm assuming it's the Ice Age. They always thought the world was ending, every single night of my life. And then one particularly dark evening, they were finally right. It doesn't matter how we're born different, but the why is clear. We are this world's true masters. So, kind of like a Magneto mentality is, hey, we got this ability. We're the stronger, superior beings here. We were meant to rule this world. And them, the boy replies, or asks, they help us become what we're meant to be. And the boy is like, well, how do they do that? And homeboy over here replies by dying. That's all they really know how to do. The same way, and then the boy's like, what was it that happened to your pack? How did the world end for them? And dude's like, well, same way it always ends out here. Something found them, something stronger, something hungry. So, dude has fangs on him. And all of a sudden, it turns out this fool's like a werewolf or something. And the boy's just witnessing his people getting eaten up and devoured. He tries to do something about it. He gets caught up. And you see here like a bunch of blood right there. Yeah. So he's just... The dude left him to live. He left him live. He left him alive. And he told him, you know, when you're ready, you come looking for me. And he just like pretty much devoured his pack and left him to die. So the boy starts going to look for him. He's like, well, if this guy can survive, why can't I? I mean, we're both obviously not normal. So kid's about to freeze to death though. You know, he's just a kid. And this serpent comes out of nowhere. Now the serpent's telling him, hey, look, I can help you get revenge. I can help you get back at this guy. You know, I just need you to stay alive. You know, stay warm. And, you know, he's trying to strike a deal with the kid. The kid's like, no, I know who you are. And he's like, come on. And he convinces the kid. He's like, all you have to do is say my name. He's like, I know you know who I am. So say my name. The boy's like, you know, hesitant at first. And finally he's like, Mephisto. Right when that happens, the boy starts burning up and frying and his skin's coming off and all that. And he starts still melting. These mammoths come out of nowhere. And that snake's just laughing it up. Blah, blah, blah. Boom. So, there's a lot of advertising for these, a lot of spider issues coming out. I'll show you those. Why not? Spider-Geddon #1. I thought that was already done. October of this year. And just advertisement. You got Spider-Gwen's Ghost Spider, the Superior Octopus, yeah. Spider-Girl. What else do we got here? Peter Parker is Spectacular Spider-Man and Spider-Geddon tie-ins. So, a lot of spider action going on here soon. All in October. So, alright, so 5 years later, you know, this guy's running around and the guy that I told you about earlier, the Wolfman, the wolf-looking dude, the werewolf-looking dude, and Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider shows up here. Man, give me a second. I'm gonna turn this fan turned off here because I was working on that heat press the other night. So Ghost Rider shows up on this giant mammoth, and they're just like in fire. Come on, focus. There we go. And he shows up, and he's like, and he's the Spirit Avenger. So he grabs the guy, the mammoth grabs the guy, and he's like, you know, I'm finally found you, blah, 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 and you're gonna get yours now. Little girl's no, and this dude called, he named the boy, he gave him the name Ghost. So he's like, little ghost, all grown up and touched by fire. You surprised me, boy. And Ghost Rider's like, you know, I'm not a boy anymore, you monster. And he's like, and I am not a monster. Just a man who does what it takes to survive. So he's about to transform werewolf style again. And next page. Turns out that's Wendigo. So it's like a prehistoric looking Wendigo. It looks pretty cool. And they go at it for a bit, you know, go back and forth, and he's kind of holding his own, kind of not. And Wendigo gets, where is he? So I guess this is Wendigo's cave. So there's all these bones scattered, and Ghost Rider kind of channels his powers, whatever, uses them as a chain. You know, he doesn't got the metal link chain, so he uses these bones. It kind of reminds me of an anime, Bleach. The one guy with the red hair and the face tattoos has that snake skeleton that acts like a sword or something. So anyways, so they're fighting, they're going at it still, and he's about to whoop on Ghost Rider, but then his mammoth comes in, just stabs Wendigo right through the back, and Wendigo manages to snap its tusk right out. He's like, relying on animals, you'll never be strong enough. Not until you become one yourself. And I can help you with that. So here at this point, Wendigo's shoving his mammoth off the cliff, and Ghost Rider's trying to prevent that. He's like, no, so both Wendigo and the mammoth go bye-bye. Did he get stabbed too? No, no, it's tusk. No, I think it's blood from Wendigo, never mind. So he's like, I'll survive this, Ghost. And then will you? So he's asking Ghost if he'll survive this. So he just lost his pet, so it's like, whatever. So he's talking about how he's alone, blah, blah, blah. So no matter how much I burn, I will never. And all of a sudden, he hears his voice in his head says, you're not alone. And not all of us are monsters like the Wendigo. So he looks up, and he's like, what in the... Right before he continues, yes, I can hear your thoughts. I'm different like you, Ghost. And all of a sudden, you see Lady Phoenix there and Odin. So they're going on a little recruiting mission. And Odin's like, we should have, you know, gone and recruited the other guy, the one that fell, because this one looks kind of scrawny. But I want to say Jean, but it's Phoenix. And she's like, no, this one's good. We'll collect him. We'll recruit him. So it just leaves off in that. So he comes across, they come across him, and it just goes next issue. But I liked it because it was like a full-blown issue of just explaining where, you know, the story of this Ghost Rider, which I thought it was cool. I mean, come on, a Ghost Rider on a mammoth with fire, that's pretty cool. So I liked it a lot. Judging by this cover on the next one, it looks like it's going back to where they were at with the Celestials. And it felt kind of random. It's like, okay, this whole issue, even though I liked it, was just about Ghost Rider and what happened to the rest of the story that was going on. But like I said, I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was pretty cool how it was just explaining about, you know, where this guy comes from, how he got his powers and all that. So if you guys read this, you want to give your thoughts on this, go ahead and do so in the comment section. And that's all I got for you guys for this comic book review. So until the next video, you guys have a good one and have a great rest of the day.